But we are very happy to be here on the invitation of His Excellency the Governor. And I want to thank the Governor for inviting us here. We went to make a presentation to the Council of Governors only last week. And we were talking to the Council of Governors about our flagship Talanta Hela initiative. And Governor Njuki made it very clear that he wanted us to have a conversation that was specific to two things. One, to the KISA Games that are being prepared to be hosted here in the month of April. And secondly, the facilities in the area of sports and the arts for this county of Tharaka Nithi. And he came to the office. We had a very good discussion. And I want to tell you, good people of Tharaka Nithi, you are blessed to have a great governor who has his finger on the pulse of the welfare and the development of this beautiful county. The governor is so passionate about every aspect of the development of this county. I know governor is engaged with pretty much every cabinet secretary in government, looking at what is available to aid the development agenda of Tharaka Nithi. And for us, governor has talked to us on a wide range of things. He's talked to us about facilities in this county to facilitate or to support sports and the arts. He has talked to us about support to library services for this county. He has talked to us about investments that can further augment the touristic attraction of Tharaka Nithi County as a county. And among the things the governor is very keen on, and where we are very keen to support him, is to make Kenya benefit from the high altitude location of Tharaka Nithi for the training of our sportsmen and women when they're preparing for international events. And that is where we are very keen as a ministry to invest in facilities in this county that can make Tharaka Nithi a county of choice when Kenya is preparing for the Olympics. Next year we are sending a large, strong contingent to the Paris Olympics in France. And we know that when we are preparing our teams, high altitude training is one of those peculiar, one of those unique advantages that our athletes enjoy. And this county offers that special location in terms of the altitude here. That is something we'd want to do. But for that to happen, we need facilities. If the players are going to camp here, they need a good international standard tartan track on which they can run while training. They would need a good field on which they can do their preparations. They would need hostels or places where they can stay. And I want to assure you, Governor, that we are going to walk this journey with you hand in glove to realize the amazing agenda you have for this county. This Kirubia Stadium is one of 7 regional stadia that were part of the government's vision to develop facilities across the country. And it included Ruringu Stadium in Nyeri, Marsabit Stadium in Marsabit County, Kipchoge Keino Phase 1 Stadium in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu, Wote Stadium in Makueni, Karatu Stadium in Kiambu County, and Kamarini Stadium in Elgeyo Marakwet County. The vision was really that you needed to have facilities across the country to support the sporting ecosystem, to grow talent from the regions, from the base. It was a good plan. It was a good vision, because you're not going to do much in the development of sports if you do not invest in youth and the grassroots. That is where the trick lies. When you see Morocco run to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup, it was the Sumbua team at the 2023-2022 World Cup. But it did not just jump at us from nowhere. You look at the structure over the last 15 years, And you can see a very deliberate plan by Morocco to invest in grassroots football, to invest in youth football, developing young people from as early as 7 years. Some of the best players like Hakim Ziyech in the Moroccan team were developed in the Moroccan youth development scheme from the age of 7, about 15 years ago. Now they are global stars playing at the very top of the world. If Kenya desires to go to the World Cup, if Kenya desires to rub shoulders with the Moroccos and the Argentinas of this world, there's no magic. We have to go back to the basics. We have to go back to the grassroots, and we have to go back to the youth system. And for us to do that, we need facilities all over the place. And that's why we are here today, to assess the status of this Kirubia Stadium, to see how far it is gone and what needs to be done to complete it. Let me make it clear that the ministry has frozen the development of sporting facilities for the next 1 to 3 months for purposes of just doing 2 important things. One, we are conducting a special audit just to determine how these projects were conducted, the amount of money spent, and whether there has been value for money, and why some of them stalled, like Camarine Stadium in Elgeyo Marakwet and Wote in Makueni. What exactly led to the stalling of those projects, and why some have been done with substandard workmanship. We want to know, for instance, why a tartan track such as the one here at Kirubia, which was laid just about a year ago, is already peeling before any competition has taken place on this pitch, on this tartan track. So that special audit is going on, and it's being undertaken by the Auditor General and her team. We expect a report that will be able to tell us where government has previously gone wrong, so that we don't walk that path again. That audit is part of the ministry preparing a master plan. We don't want to develop sporting and artistic facilities and infrastructure haphazardly. We want to do it in the context of a master plan that maps the country, so that you understand, why is Kirubia here? Why do we put a stadium here in Kirubia and not in Isiolo? We must be able to explain it within the context of a master plan, a coherent, sensible master plan. But we also want to do facilities that meet international standards. We are very keen to host major regional and international tournaments. We want to see the Africa Cup of Nations come to Kenya, for instance. And when those games come here, in the spirit of devolution, we don't want to restrict them to Nairobi. We want you, for instance, to see Kenya play Morocco here at Kirubia Stadium as part of AFCON. But if that is going to happen, then we must upgrade these facilities to CAF and FIFA standards. So when FIFA comes to inspect Kirubia, they can say, yes, it is of a standard that can permit an international game to be played here. And so we are, as a ministry, we are asking the country to be patient, to allow us to complete the audit, to allow us to complete the master plan. And from then on, we are going to develop facilities in a very, very clear, coherent, sensible manner that meets international standards. But we are making an exception, a one-off exception in 2 cases. While that freeze is on, we have made 2 exceptions. Exception number 1, we have made it in Embu, the neighboring county here. We have made an exception in Embu because Embu is scheduled to host this year's Madaraka Day celebrations. And because of that, the ministry has agreed to help the rehabilitation of Moi Stadium in Embu town, and to also develop a new facility at Njukiri grounds in Embu, so that we can have Madaraka Day celebrations, a national holiday, celebrated in fitting circumstances. We have also made an exception for this particular stadium, Kirubia Stadium. And we make that exception again for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, is because this project is a project that is very dear to the heart of my boss, His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto. It is a project whose very initiation dates back to himself when he was deputy president. And it is also a project which perhaps really explains and is a manifestation of the tribulations he went through while serving as the second in command of this nation. And many times, His Excellency the President, who initiated this project, could not be allowed even to sniff around these grounds. And because we want this to be a symbol of the resilience and the eagle character of His Excellency the President, we want him to land here in style when this facility is ready for his arrival. And so for that reason, Governor, and for the second reason, that you are hosting the very important KISA Games, which you would want to be hosted again in fitting circumstances, we have also allowed an exception for this facility. And for that reason, we have come here with our officers from Sports Kenya, led by Mr. Komora here. And the purpose is that we want the remaining works here to commence immediately. And so the contractor who was responsible for this project, we are asking you to get back to site immediately so that we can be able to progress and have this ground ready, number one, for the visit of His Excellency the President, and number two, for hosting the 8th edition of KISA Games from the 23rd of April this year. Games which I must say I'm already excited to attend. And listening to you as Secretary General, who spoke very well here, and as Secretary General who spoke very well, I must say that the conceptualization, the design, the vision of the KISA Games dovetails naturally, perfectly, hook, line, and sinker with the Talanta Hela initiative. I listened very keenly as you described that these are games which are truly bottom-up, originating right from the wards and growing all the way to the county level and then culminating in a national competition here. We definitely will want to talk to the leadership of KISA to see how, so that we do not run parallel tracks, so that we do not waste very premium resources by doing things which we could actually combine efforts. We'll be very keen to sit down with the KISA leadership to join the dots and just make sure that the KISA program and the Talanta Hela initiative are in sync and that we are moving in the same direction. Kwa sababu vijana wetu ni wale wale. Okay, talanta tunazotaka kujenga ni zile zile. Okay? Sehemu ambazo tutachezea ni pale pale. Okay? So there's no reason why we should really duplicate efforts. So we are going to sit with you and see how we can synchronize and harmonize and just make sure that we are moving together in the same direction. And you are blessed because the governor ni mwana sport. Okay? The PS ni mwana sport. The PS is an international level golfer. Okay? PS, maybe you should bring golfing even to KISA Games. You as truly your cabinet secretary here still holds the unbroken record of the highest goal scored for Bunge FC to date. Governor, ungesema hizo siku between 2013 and 2017 when you and I served in the 11th Parliament, I was a deadly striker for Bunge FC. And you and I used to train every Thursday from 5 in the morning at Nyayo Stadium. That used to be our training ground. So msituone hivi Sio, tumekula chumvi lakini pia tuko sawa. Tukija kisa hatutaketi tu kule pavilion kutazama. We will be part of the fun. Hiyo sherehe tutachapa sisi wote pamoja. Otherwise, nawashukuru sana. Governor, I just want to assure you that the matters you have discussed with us, including completing this Kirubia Stadium, looking into the possibility of some hostels in the ecosystem around Chuka, and also most importantly having a well-built, equipped public library in town is something we are going to progress. We are going to progress all those ideas together. And as I conclude, Governor, let me congratulate you for having a very youthful government around you. I've seen your CECs are very youthful. You are working with MCAs who are very youthful. So I can see the reason why you are flying. Nimeona sababu. Because you have assembled a very youthful, a very energetic team. And as the minister responsible for young people, I want to say I have so much belief in our young people. I trust our young people. I believe that is the number one resource our country has. And that is why we want to invest in our young people from all points of the compass. And even this Talanta Hela, it means just those two Swahili words. Talanta Hela. Kuweka hela mfuko wa wale ambao wako na talanta. Is about monetizing talents. Turning talents into money. And it is all types of talents. By the way, when Talanta Hela starts, it will not just be football. During football games, we will do music. We will do comedy. We will do film. We will do fashion. We will do theater. We will do visual art. So Talanta Hela is going to be a platform for all talents to be brought to the fore. And the best talents will be progressed to a level where we can develop them further and then put them on the market for the world to see. So Talanta Hela is going to be a big thing, and it's about telling our young people, if you are talented in anything, the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Arts and Sports is offering you a platform for the world to see you and for us to turn those talents into a livelihood for you. That, good people, is at the heart of the Kenya Kwanza better agenda. Najua agenda yetu inaitwa better. Bottom up economic transformation agenda. Najua hapo mbeleni tumekuwa na agenda 4. Sio ndio imekuwa agenda 4. Sasa hii tuko na kitu inaitwa better. Wangwana mnapoenda na mnapozungumza na wananchi huko, sema agenda ya Kenya Kwanza, mfumo wa uongozi wa uchumi wa Rais William Samoei Ruto na serikali yake inaitwa better. Bottom up economic transformation agenda. Transforming our nation from the bottom up. That is what we are about. And from our corner, we want to do it with sports and the arts by putting money in the pockets of our talented young people. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki. I look forward to being with you here on the 23rd day of April 2023 for the KISA Games. Thank you very much.